What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming Without Parole. Sitting across from me this week, my Catholic school cohort. I don't know why I keep calling you that. That's not true at all.
I never went to Catholic school.
Desra.
Hi.
Hey.
And sitting across from me is Brian Paul.
I totally went to Catholic school. You guys saw the earlier episodes. It didn't go so.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to the Catholic school. I belong to an apocalyptic, what's the word I'm looking for? Apocalyptic evangelical Christian church.
I went to a post-apocalyptic evangelical church.
All right.
Yeah, it was in Fallout 4. It was amazing. Desra, what game are we going to talk about this week?
This week we're talking about Until Dawn. Rush of Blood.
That's my favorite genre of game.
It really is. Actually, he's not lying this time.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
I wrote down all of the different elements that this game puts into one game. You ready for this?
Yes.
VR.
Okay.
It's like my favorite thing. Haunted houses.
Yes.
It's like my favorite thing. Scary movies.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Roller coasters.
Yes.
We went to Six Flags together.
We did. And you'll never see that episode.
I'm scared of roller coasters. Like, come on. How, honestly.
Oh my God.
I was a little baby, right?
You were, when we got off with Superman, or actually not even before we got off, like I turned and like, oh my God, you were so pale, I was concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I love things that scare me.
Yeah.
And I get scared easily. Roller coasters and light gun shooters.
Yeah. You forgot color photography.
There you go.
Yeah.
Light gun shooters. I mean, like, we've talked about this. We had a whole episode about light gun shooters.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite light gun shooters of all time.
I'd agree with that. It is definitely one of your favorite light gun shooters of all time. See what I did
this
there?
Isn't going to be a good episode.
No, this is going to be a great episode.
We're literally gonna punch each other in the face.
No.
It's Marvels all over again.
I really like this game.
All right.
Just not in the same way.
Okay. Let's talk about what kind of game Until Dawn Rush of Blood is after
this break.
Tell you about... We should start doing that. After this commercial break from Downey.
Actually, no, it would be Casper Mattresses. They do a lot of podcasts. Or
nice.
Squarespace.
Yeah, Squarespace, definitely. Blue Apron.
Blue Apron.
Mm-hmm. All right, listen. Here's the thing. Leading up to PlayStation VR launch, people were talking mad shit about this game.
Well, what they were talking about was a sequel to Until Dawn.
Right.
And then it came out that it was actually not a sequel and not for PS4. Surprise! So
that's the thing, right? Like Until Dawn proper had come out, and it was like the surprise hit. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And I think it was overrated, but it was fantastic. I really liked it. I didn't love it the way everyone else did.
Never played it.
It's okay. It's literally like playing a scary movie where you make some like stupid decisions. You run up the stairs, you go in the basement. Either way, somebody's getting killed. I promise you. Actually, that's not true. You can keep everyone alive in the whole game. But it was a very different type of game. It was more like a Quantic Dream game where you make decisions and stuff happens.
And it was cool. There was no like save. There was no make a decision. Oh crap! I screwed up and go back.
Yeah.
No, there was you either played through your choices or you started the game from scratch, which I kind of like.
I loved it because every time you play, you sort of get a different result. So the deal is everyone was like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do next. What super massive game's going to do next? And then it turned out we're getting Until Dawn Rush of Blood for this newfangled thing called the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And with a price tag attached to it of $19.99.
Yeah.
It was like, there's no way this thing's going to be good. And oh God, it's a light gun shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the disappointment from Until Dawn fans.
Absolutely. It makes no sense compared to, what came before. It's like, it has nothing to do... why would I do that? It wasn't about running around and shooting stuff up. It was about making choices and having your friends' lives in your hands and Wendigos. Spoiler.
And yeah, basically everyone goes, you just created this brand new franchise, this brand new successful franchise that everybody likes. Why are you going to drag that brand new awesome name through the mud with this garbage cash-in?
Yeah.
And I was cautiously optimistic, and it turns out that my cautious optimism was more than accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this turned out to be a fantastic game. A proof of concept, I think, for not only PlayStation VR, but also the Move controllers.
Yeah.
And just how diverse the Until Dawn franchise name can be.
Yeah, I will say, like, I went into this. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about with Until Dawn. I knew nothing about Until Dawn before I played this. It's only in researching this game that I've learned about the basic plot. And
I was gonna let it go. I was gonna let them think that you were like you knew
no,
everything.
no. I'll be honest. I try very hard not to lie unless I'm being paid.
No one gets paid here.
Yeah, so nothing but truth. But yeah, so I came into it with no knowledge of that, and that's the cool thing. If you've never played Until Dawn, you can totally play this game and be completely fine. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
I mean, and for people who have played it, it's going to be some cool fill-in to things that happened in the game. There's going to be some background and maybe some ideas behind the motivations of what specifically one of the characters was kind of going through. But it's not like, oh, if I miss this, they're not. I'm missing words here.
For a game that follows such a story-driven game, what they did in this is kind of remove the story.
Yeah, it's very much about the emotional beats of what was going on.
Yeah. It's a light gun shooter, true and true, through and through.
It is literally a rails shooter.
True and truer.
True and truer.
It's through and through.
Through and through. Yeah.
This is why no one gets paid here. This explains everything. Support us on Patreon. Yeah. It is literally a rail shooter.
Yeah.
And why is it literally a rail shooter, Does?
Because you were rolling on a roller coaster. Oh my god. This is why we don't do double episodes.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Fourth wall broken. We just filmed the Tethered review.
Okay. So you were literally riding on a roller coaster.
Let's just grab a bottle of vodka and do this proper. Yeah, no, you literally are riding on a roller coaster ride.
Yep.
Through the whole game.
And it's through this, twisted carnival. That's it. I mean, that's if you want a big description of the scene, that's it. You're this twisted sort of carnival freak show and old burnt out buildings. Yep. But that's it. You're shooting up clowns.
Yeah, you really are. And there's the whole roller coaster element of it. Let's just take this piece by piece. At first, I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm in VR. I want to get up and move around, right? But this is absolutely perfect, and let me explain why. Okay, and this isn't a spoiler. Maybe it's a spoiler. There's a lot of amazing sections in this game.
Okay.
In one section in particular, you are going through this section. See, I'm using very vague words, so not spoiling anything. And there's things that aren't uncommon in a room. But then there's more of them, and you look right, and then you look back, and there's another one, and it's just suddenly, I wanted to get the hell out of that room.
Okay.
But you are stuck in this cart in the front seat of a roller coaster ride, and only the cart is dictating how fast you're allowed to leave that room.
Yeah.
So the game suddenly takes full control over your fear, over your emotions, and it doesn't allow you to just click down the analog stick to run and get you out of there. You are stuck there. And unless you're going to close your eyes and ruin the game for yourself, you're just going to experience whatever the game developers wanted you to experience. Yeah. And so for that reason, the roller coaster element is perfect.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, it, like you said, it controls the pacing. It speeds up when they want you to get through a section and make it difficult to actually hit targets. It slows down when they want to, build up tension and scare you. So yeah, that was a really nice touch. And I think a really nice way of solving a problem which the developers are still grappling with shooting type games. How do we move? We've seen a lot of different ways of handling the problem, but I think this was a pretty creative way to handle it right out of the gate.
2 weeks ago, I did a Let's Play of a $5 experience on the PlayStation Store called The Bellows, and The Bellows is literally a haunted house simulator. You walk through this house, and stuff flies off the walls, crashes, and it's like 15 minutes of just nonstop jump scares. Yeah. And let me just say this, horrible. It's never scary, and they allow you to walk. And there's something about that where you're like, I felt the whole time I want to be in a little cart and be carted around and be like, make this a ride, just give up the ghost. And if you're gonna make it a haunted house simulator, just go the extra mile and make it a ride and control the pacing of your game. And that's actually what I said during the Let's Play. I was like, I wish this was Rush of Blood.
Yeah.
But the roller coaster element is something that I think ever since we turned the show into an exclusively PlayStation VR show, we've sort of been forgetting to talk about one important thing, and that's your journey through motion sickness.
Yeah.
And when we started, I don't think there was any way in hell you were going to play this game.
Well, this is one of the first games you had me play.
Yeah.
And I was, at the very beginning, you kind of, let's say you're like pre-credit sort of roll. You're going slowly through this corridor, and I was okay there.
Some strobe lights.
Yeah, and even the first, when they're sort of introducing, let's call it the tutorial level, they're introducing the idea, I was fine with that. But the first time the roller coaster started moving and doing roller coaster type things, I was, nope, I am done. D-U-N done. And that was intentionally misspelled. And I was, this is not going to happen. And that was, if you go back to the first, why we love PSVR, and you see Des looks like he's about to puke on camera, it was because of Drive Club and Rush of Blood.
Fucking Drive Club.
And I was done.
Yeah.
Fast forward, let's call it 4 months.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah. And last weekend, I sent Brian a text. I just sat down, played through all of Rush of Blood in one sitting, and no sickness at all. So, yay!
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Rush of Blood, obviously being a launch title, it was an early game for me to kind of get my VR legs. Yep. And there are some games like Here They Lie and stuff which, notoriously made everyone a little bit sick, whether that be because it was a launch title or just because, we hadn't gotten our VR legs or whatever the reason. But this game, I remember the first time I went up, what do they call it? What's the incline on a roller coaster called?
Incline?
Is that what it's called? There's no technical name for that?
There probably is, but...
This guy goes to Six Flags like 3 times a week. You'd think he'd know the name of the incline.
Pretty close. I know what gravity hills are.
Okay.
And barrel rolls and...
Barrel roll.
Saddles.
I don't know what a saddle is.
That's when you do one of these. It's a saddle shape.
Okay.
Like a Goliath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
cool.
the far end of Goliath is a saddle.
So going up the incline.
Yeah.
I remember
the hill.
The hill. I was sitting on my couch, obviously, where I play games, and I just remember like leaning back, like just like I there was like a pressure on me. I felt like I was going up the incline, and going up over the crest. Is that the technical term? Crest?
Sure.
Sure.
Cresting the hill. Yeah.
And I just remember like holding my breath the same way I did
Actually called ripping the lolly, but
the same way I did on Superman. Is that like a surfing term?
I have no idea. I think I just made it up.
When I went over the crest, I remember just the same way I did on Superman, where I like hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
And just try not to die. That's what I do on roller coasters. I try not to die. I hold on real tight.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Just exaggerating at all.
And there it was. I went down. And I was like, I was like this. I thought my couch was a roller coaster ride.
Wow.
Yeah, like obviously not that intense. There's no wind rushing at your face, which is why a fan is always helpful, kids.
Yeah.
But man, the roller coaster element of this is really immersive.
And it's also to be fair to the game, it's not like it's that all the time.
No.
Right. It's not like, I'm doing this crazy roller coaster and shooting. It's a mix of that. There's moments where you're doing real fast, banking and hills and all that, but there's other times where you are creeping slowly through a room as well. So.
Yeah, in fact, I would say the roller coaster element is used very seldom.
Yeah, it's pretty sparingly.
So so I was concerned that something about this would just be a total gimmick. Before it came out, I was like, it's a roller coaster, what a gimmick,
Yeah.
But the roller coaster ended up being a great part of it. The gimmick, however, is that it uses the head tracking. And near the beginning of the game, there's these, I want to say, wooden planks that are in your way.
Oh, right.
With the shape of your head cut out. And so you have to literally put your head in the right place to get past these parts. And that's pretty gimmicky. And then later on, there's saw blades that come down at you, and you have to do this.
Yeah.
Now, I get it. It's part of the immersion. It's part of the whole.
Yeah.
It's also kind of unnecessary. I'm playing a light gun shooter. I don't feel like I need to be moving my head, especially when I'm in a roller coaster. Take it or leave it. It didn't improve. It didn't make the game better or worse for me. I'm good with or without it. But definitely feels a little gimmicky.
Yeah, for me, and this I think is where we have our difference of opinion on this game. I love this game. Don't get me wrong at all. It's a shooting gallery. It is one of the best shooting gallery games I've ever played.
Yeah, total shooting gallery.
I didn't get any immersive feeling in it. I've kind of been talked a lot. Like, horror genre is just not something. It just doesn't latch into Dez's brain. It's so for me, that kind of dodging here thing is like, I'm loving the shooting gallery part of this. Don't make me do this right now, because it wasn't helping me with the immersion, because I wasn't getting immersed in it anyways. I was more on target acquisition mode. So yeah, the few times that did happen, it definitely did feel gimmicky. And then there were times where you were supposed to avoid something, like, I'm thinking of the gas.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter if you move or not, because you're going to get hit with it anyway. So if it matters sometimes, but it doesn't matter other times, why is it in there?
Yeah, it's definitely a strange game. There's no, I don't remember there being any life bars. I think it's one of those things where you get hit and you just have to wait to get better.
It depends on the level you're playing at. If you play on, like, insane,
you get one life.
You get one life.
Psychopath is one life, right?
Yeah, or psychopath. That's right.
Yeah, there's 4 levels. Insane is one of them.
Yeah. And to be fair, I've only played normal level, although I beat the whole game on normal level. So your mileage may vary.
Yeah, it's something. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was, I think you kind of sort of hit on it earlier, but this was another game for me that, even the first time I played it, I was one of those people who would constantly crap all over the Move controllers and how bad they were. Mm-hmm. And when Brian sat me down, it's like, okay, you're going to play this VR game. Great, I'm going to play VR, and you're going to use the Move controllers. Awesome. This will be great. And it was amazing. This was the game that made me say, oh, they've learned how to code for these things. Or someone somewhere had a eureka moment, and these are, the control is 1 for 1. You aim at something, you pull the trigger, and you hit what you aimed at.
This is speaking from a 100% non-technical standpoint. Mm-hmm. The fact that I think that there's 2 lenses in the PlayStation 4 camera and there was only 1 in the PlayStation 3 camera, I think that helps tenfold. Maybe
it's something as simple as that, but although we have seen some PSVR games where the Move controllers are still kind of janky.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be a development
It's on
thing.
you developers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Someone can do it right, so you have no excuse.
Yeah, a lot of people have done it right, and this was a great first foray for me into VR gaming. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, here we go, the Move controllers, and just seeing my arms attached to the hands.
Yeah.
One of the few games that actually has arms in the game. There's something real fun about doing this for some reason. I don't know.
Although I did the fun part was actually just turning the Move control in your hand and watching your wrists do. Actually,
crazy things.
That could kind of be sort of terrifying body horror sort of thing on its own.
I'm a little terrified right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, one of my goals of making Des play VR games, he's adamant that he doesn't get scared in haunted houses.
Yeah, I'm broken.
I want to scare the crap out of Des, and I was actually thinking that, I've played Rush of Blood numerous times, mm-hmm. and even when I know a scare is coming, there's that part of my brain that can't turn it off, that can't say it's just a game, it's not real, and I scream like a little girl every single time I play this game.
Yep.
The jump scares totally work for me, and which is why, one of the many reasons I like this game so much, because I love being scared, and knowing something's gonna happen or not happen, for some reason, again, it doesn't spoil anything for me, because I'm gonna be scared no matter what. Every single time the suspense gets built perfectly, it all just works perfectly for me. And so when I finally got a chance to talk to Des, I was like, so were you scared?
Were you scared? No. There was one moment where one kind of got me, and I did jump, but I think it was mostly because as I was playing, my wife was actually in the real world right where that jump came from, so I was aware of an actual presence there. So it's but
this doesn't bode well for Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm the opposite. If I'm the ride stopped and nothing's happening, well, nothing has ever not happened before. So, they're going to set me up for being scared, and there it is. And so, again, I'll admit I'm the broken person here. It's probably.
Do you even flinch?
Not really. No. Yeah.
Listen. Down below in the comments, I want to know. I want to know who's in the minority here. I want to know if you guys, all of you who played Rush of Blood, all of you guys who were watching this right now, did Rush of Blood scare you on multiple occasions? Like, was it suspenseful to you? Like, am I broken because I can't seem to get over?
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, but I want to know because I think it's terrifying, like at least half of the time. And you're like, it's fine. I'm like, there's got to be a middle ground somewhere. And I'm wondering if like we're just the two polar ends, or if like everyone's more like me or everyone's more like you.
And I want to be clear, this isn't like some bravado thing. It's like, no, I'm such a badass. This doesn't scare me. It's just for me. Maybe I'm too analytical as when it goes to this, and so it's just you get a feeling for the beats of the story, and. There's just a certain time when a monster's going to come out and go boo. And it's when you least expect it. So when you least expect it is when you should be expecting something. And there you go. Yeah.
And even when I know it's going to happen, I still scream. I love it.
My daughter scared me once.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the proudest moments of her life. She got me good too. But
You've just initiated a challenge you didn't know existed.
Well, all right, yeah.
So if you are scared of something, this game probably has it.
Yeah, well, do we want to get that spoilery?
No, I mean, I wrote a list of all the things you could possibly be scared about that this game covers. Okay. And it's sort of like they took everything in the kitchen sink and put it into this game.
Yeah.
I got ghosts.
Yeah.
Spiders.
Yes.
Pigs.
Yes.
Psychopaths.
No, that's probably fair to be scared of psychopaths.
You think so?
I think so.
That's probably the one that doesn't get me. Saw blades. Big, bloody saw blades. Yeah. Blood. Poison. Creepy dolls.
Yep.
Clowns.
Yep.
Bad acid trips. Those are the ones that get me. Elevators.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lovecraftian body horror.
There you go.
Monsters.
Did I miss any?
Nurses.
There you go. Like scary Silent Hill nurses.
Yep. Twins.
They don't scare me. No way,
well, when
baby.
Their flesh is all rotting off and they're singing Frere Jacques.
I'll take them. Okay. It's almost like they said, what are people scared of? They just made a list like I did.
Yep.
And then they're like, let's make a game out of that.
Yeah, and it's and that's great. Like the set design, I'm going to call it the set design because that's what it is really good. I mean, this is a good looking game.
People are scared of carnies.
Yeah.
The whole game is a carnival.
Yeah. And the pig level, I'd say out of all of them, that I think was the most disturbing because one, it's really disturbing. These giant pigs are kind of hanging there, and it's kind of like a
butcher's.
Yeah, it is an abattoir. But at one point,
what?
Abattoir.
That's a word?
Yeah.
Can you spell it?
Oh God.
Just say it slowly.
Abattoir.
Is that English?
No, it's the French word for
it. I feel so much better.
Abbottoir, I believe.
Sayonara.
Yeah, sayonara.
Oh, damn, that was an inside joke.
But that's basically for where you kill the animals in a factory.
Gotcha.
But anyways, at one point, all these ripped open pig carcasses start screaming like pigs.
Yeah.
And they're huge and they're everywhere. And this was probably, I think, the most disturbing for me because, again, I'm that analytical mind, so I'm just looking for targets and all that. There's so many of them. They're so loud and distracting that this is the time where it backfired on me. If they did a jump scare there, it may have gotten me because I was so concentrated on I need to ignore that to look for my targets that in that point, if something got up, I think it probably would have gotten me.
It was sensory overload.
Yeah, it really was.
It's uncomfortable. Like when you have headphones on, like VR, the thing that gets me a lot is like I'm always concerned that like someone's knocking on my door or calling me or something like that. And so there's always like this thing in the back of my mind where that's always like, don't forget reality, Brian. Don't forget reality. There's something back there. It's like, don't forget. You need to be aware of like, oh, you forgot that the ramen noodles on the stovetop are burning the house down because that almost happened one day. And I'm always a little bit nervous about that. So when you have like this sensory overload where like these pigs are screaming and squealing and they're like all in your face and you have dodging the saw blades at the same time, that's too much. Like for me, I'm like, oh man, what if somebody's calling me right now? Like I need to be aware of my surroundings, and so that's just one of the many ways that this game gets to me. This game, I'm gonna say right now, with all the difficulty levels, all the leaderboards with the scores. It has some serious...
JD, I'm gunning for you.
It has some serious replayability.
Yeah.
And also, but that's not the only reason it's got replay value. It's also got some branching paths.
Yeah, which we should probably talk about that. There are a lot of times, and what I think is kind of cool, the game doesn't make it clear that this is a choice that matters.
Yeah.
Like there's times you're going through the tracks and there's these little targets, and you shoot it, it changes you to a different track. And you're like, okay, well, I'm probably just going to do a loop and come back around and go, no, you don't. And sometimes in some levels there's a choice between something that's going to go faster and get you to the level faster but skip a lot of the bonus and hidden things, or versus something that's going to be slower and more difficult, and sometimes it just seems arbitrary.
Yeah. Which for me is fine, because even if it's arbitrary, because it's like going through the same haunted house twice. So like even if it's not dramatically different, it's a different part of the haunted house that you can get to see the first time.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. The haunted house just got bigger.
Yeah, and I'll also say, like, there's these little clown dolls, which are kind of the hidden discoverables in every level that you have to shoot. They are really well hidden. I defy anyone to find all of them in every level without using cheats or guides.
It's crazy. I've definitely not found even half, maybe.
Yeah, there's the first level, which we'll call the tutorial. It's not particularly challenging. It's not particularly fast. I've been through it at least a half dozen times now. I've only found 18 or 20. There's 2 of them. There's like, at this point, there's literally nowhere they could be.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where you're going up, what's the incline called?
A hill?
The incline. And because it's a big one, I think in the tutorial, where I'm like, well, there's this big, long incline. There's got to be one, like, hiding around here. Nope. That's, anytime you think you know where a hidden one would be, it's absolutely not going to be there.
Yeah. So,
lots
of replayability. You kind of mentioned it, but there's global leaderboards, local leaderboards, and your friends' leaderboards, which is kind of cool. So you can see where your friends are at, and JD, let's dance.
He's gunning for you, man. He's gunning for you.
I beat you this morning, by the way.
Everyone beats me. I realized today just how horrible I am at video games. Why does anyone let me run a video game YouTube channel? So my big thing about Rush of Blood is this. In my humble opinion, it's better than the game that preceded it. I think it's, for me, because I like scary things, Until Dawn proper never really scared me the way this game did. Because I love jump scares. I love the suspense that it builds. I love roller coasters and light gun shooters. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
This game has everything I want all in one game. It was $20 when it launched.
Yeah.
There was a PlayStation sale recently where it was like $8, I think. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So all I want from Supermassive is to stop making the 1,700 other games you're making right now. They're literally they're a studio that made like one game every 3 years, and now they've got like 4 games in development.
Yeah, money will do that.
Yeah, and talent. It's
well, yeah, that's true.
Sony's like, hey, you guys are talented. Make more games. Yeah. Which is great because at least 2 of them are for VR. So one of the games that they're making right now, just FYI, everybody, is called The Impatient, and it's actually a prequel to the first Until Dawn, but it's in VR, so it's sort of like this hybrid between the 2 things that we're working with here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very cool. I can't wait to play that. But what I really want Supermassive to do, God damn it, guys, make us a Rush of Blood 2.
That would be cool, yeah. And I don't want I don't even want to call it criticism to make people think that I didn't enjoy it. If you are broken like me and you don't you don't care about like the horror thing, that's not going to scare you, that's fine. This is still an awesome and really fun game. Like I said, so last episode we talked about Tethered, and I only got about halfway through, and it was a slog just to force myself to go that far. This, I sat down, I started playing it. I did not stop until roll credits.
Yeah.
And this was someone who, again, 4 months ago couldn't play it for 10 minutes. I guess, do we want to go to the ratings, or we?
Yeah, again, another impassioned plea. Please make a sequel.
Yeah.
Sequel. I don't care if you charge me $60 full price for it. Just make it bigger and longer and better.
I kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So, well, that brings us to our rating.
Sure.
$20 game, often on sale. What's our first rating is what?
Buy this. Oh my God, you need to drop what you're doing. Go buy this now.
Second rating is what?
Meh. If it's on sale, pick it up. If you find it, in the used bin, okay.
And third rating?
Do not buy this crap from these people. They do not deserve to be rewarded for doing this.
We haven't used that one yet.
We haven't said it yet, no.
I have a feeling we won't, because all of our episodes are called Why We Love a Certain Game.
We'll see.
And I don't want to just sit here for 30 minutes and shit on something. Oh, wait, Marvel's, I'm sure, is coming up eventually. We're literally going to have a fight club over this. His name is Robert Paulson. Is that his name?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So it's a 1.
It's absolutely a 1. And,
no question.
And if you find it on sale, it's even more of a 1.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's been out for so long now. Your chances are more likely you're going to find it on sale than not.
Yeah, if you have a Best Buy closing in town, then absolutely stop by, man. They probably have it for like $5.
Yeah. No, this is not a question. If you have a PSVR and you are, for whatever, there's some people, all right, maybe the horror aspect of it is going to be too much for you. That's cool. We don't judge here. There's a lot. It's really gory, really bloody. I mean, this is not something for little kids.
Nope.
So let's be, I guess we should be respectful of that. If you don't like that kind of thing, this isn't for you. Other than that, if you're a PSVR owner, you need to have this game.
Yeah. VR does horror really well, but there are bad horror games that are successful in VR because it's VR. This is a horror game that's successful in VR because it's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
That's my review right there, succinctly.
Yep. Regardless of medium, this is a well done game. So
right on.
Yeah, make
so
more
definitely
stuff.
Should we? Damn it, wrong show.
Definitely beautiful. Definitely beautiful.
All right, that's another episode of Gaming Without Parole. What we need from you is in the comments below. Tell us which one of us is right, but then tell us what other games you want us to talk about.
Tell us which one is pretty.
We know that.
Yeah, we do.
For Gaming Without Parole, I'm Brian Paul.
I'm Desra.
And we'll see you next week.